pretty is no longer enough on social media. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that being pretty is not an advantage. It's an advantage, but it's not enough. It's no longer enough to get you the visibility that you need. It's no longer enough to help you build a community. It's no longer enough to give you the engagement that you need as a content creator. You need to understand how the algorithm works. You need to build an engaged community, and you need to give value. Let's just say that you need some kind of strategy. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 different types of content that is going to get you ahead of 50% of the people who are posting randomly online without a strategy. The first kind of content that you need to gain visibility and grow on social media is storytelling videos. So when I say storytelling, I mean the sit down kind of storytelling content where you sit down and tell a story, narrate a story that has happened in your life before, something interesting, something engaging that is going to keep people hooked till the end. I have seen a lot of this kind of content on TikTok. I have seen it on Instagram. A lot of people do it so well. In fact, you don't even have to be a master of storytelling to be able to get engagement from storytelling. You just have to have an actual story that happened in your life or something that happened in someone's life that you can communicate with emotions and get people's attention. Some people even create series out of their story. I'm sure we have seen a lot of TikTok story times where people have like 10-part series of a story that happened in their life. Those kind of stories are the kind of content you need to be posting online if you want to get visibility in 2025. And that doesn't mean that you have to overshare. You just have to make a big deal out of probably something small that happened in your life and give it enough context or imagery for people to care enough to watch it to the end or to follow through the series. So if you have never done a series, if you have never done a storytelling content on social media before, this is an opportunity to start one. The second type of engaging content you can create on social media is hook content. It is one of the most trending type of content in 2025, where you just have a hook at the top of the screen that is either giving instruction or providing solution, just something valuable that people can learn from or that people can relate to and connect with your brand. It can also be motivational, or it can also be a short story or a short description of something that happened in your life. If you are thinking about less curated content that doesn't take any stress at all, hook content is one of the very effective ways to pass your message without burning too much energy, time, data, or whatsoever you use to create your content. So it is called less curated content or low effort content. Another kind of very, very, very effective content you can create on social media to reach more people, to gain visibility, is storytelling hook content. Storytelling hook content is like the before and after. You're taking your audience through a process. It's usually 2 to 3 short clips that is going to reflect what you are saying in your caption. And I'm using the before and after context because it perfectly captures the story, so people can see the story. I'm going to try to put an example if I see one on the screen so that you understand what I'm saying. But this is one of the most effective. As a matter of fact, it's my best form of content to create. The fourth type of binge-worthy viral content you can create on social media is the behind-the-scenes content. I call it the process content because it shows the process of how something is done from start to finish. This kind of content is usually used by food content creators, fashion designers, hairstylists, even UI UX designers. So if you're a skilled entrepreneur or you're a business owner and there's a process in your business, whatever process that is, you can go viral by creating process videos, behind the scenes content. The thing about behind the scenes content that a lot of people don't understand is that you have to actually show the process. You have to capture and have the right angles as if you are telling a story. So it's like video storytelling. So you have to come close enough to take us through the process. Process videos are one of the most engaging kinds of content you can create on social media. Fifth kind of content you can create on social media is carousels content. A lot of people think that carousels is dead, but it's still popping, especially for written kind of content. So if you want to create content, but you don't actually want to do video, you just want to write and describe and tell a story through writing, you can use carousels content. So in this kind of content, you want to start off with an engaging hook that captures your audience from the first slide. And then the other slides are also taking them through a process that provides value or tell a story. I know that social media has been pushing a lot of reels and videos, but written carousels content is still very effective on social media. So let's go over it again. The first one is storytelling content. Tell a story that happened to you or someone else, or it can also be a fiction story, but let it just be engaging and you need to understand how to communicate it emotionally. The second type of content is the hook content, where you're either inspiring, motivating, providing value, or telling a story with just hooks and a simple short video. Third kind of content combines hooks and storytelling, but still a short video of 10 to 30 seconds. And then we have the fourth one, which is the behind the scenes, the process video. And then lastly, we have carousels. I have observed these content styles and strategies in the past 6 months to 1 year, and trust me, they work. So don't just show up online looking pretty and all fly, thinking that everybody is going to rock with you. Especially on Instagram, it's no longer that way. You need some kind of strategy, and you need to be engaged with your community to build your brand online. The last thing I would like to say is that always try to use hooks in your content. Hooks that are relatable, that people can connect to, hooks that capture attention, because it helps your audience to understand your video, your concept better. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you all for staying to the end of this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. To really do a lot for me as a growing creator. Also like and comment so that this video can reach more people. Thank you.